Mario Kart World is the biggest and baddest Mario Kart game of all time. There's all new modes, all new racers, so much hype. But is it really worth $80? Is it a big enough upgrade from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Let's not waste your time and get to it. Upon opening the game, you'll be greeted with 6 different modes: Grand Prix, Knockout Tour, Time Trials, Versus Races, Battle, and Free Roam, which is in the bottom right of the home screen. I couldn't find it at first. But that's cool, because once you go into Free Roam, you pick up right where the character on your screen is racing. So it smoothly transitions. But in terms of the racing in this game, all the courses, the soundtrack, everything about the bread and butter of Mario Kart World, this has an argument for the best Mario Kart game of all time. Here's why. The racing has never felt better, even just controlling wise, it's so smooth. 24 players on 150cc is the Mario Kart chaos I've wanted for so long. I've always felt like something was missing in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but this game has it. Every single track has these twists and turns. In one moment, there's cars in your way, the next moment you're flying, then you're driving on water, then a Goomba is in your way and you have to dodge him, while someone behind you is throwing hammers. It's a lot. It may be a touch more tame than that, but that's how it feels. However, I do have one big complaint that kept on coming up as I was playing every track. I would be on this long straightaway and you would just be holding the A button, going straight, doing absolutely nothing for, I kid you not, 5 to 10 seconds of just going straight. It was weird. I had never seen this before in a Mario Kart game except for on Excite Bike, but even that was fun. And once again, this happened on several different tracks. I was wondering why it was a thing. However, after talking to people, after playing online, different story. On these long straightaways, you actually can't just sit there and hold A. I mean, you can, but good luck. It's the perfect opportunity for someone to aim a green shell at you or any power-up and take you down. You need to move, you need to rail grind, you need to wall ride, anything you can to get the advantage. It really displays your skill and actually makes races a bit more interesting. So although these long straightaways can seem kind of boring, and sometimes when you are playing against bots it is boring, they became less of a problem over time. And the soundtrack through all of that is also amazing, as it perfectly fits the fun and fresh vibe Mario Kart World aims to achieve by not only sounding wacky, but also including tons of references to old Mario games, even Mario 3D World, Donkey Kong, Captain Toad. Captain Toad is the oddball. And what's also great while you're racing is there's a lot more going on. What I mean by that is if you consume these brand new food items or Kamek uses his transformational power on you, your character will change into, for example, the pro racer version of Mario or the biker version of Waluigi instead of their normal basic versions. And if you're lucky enough, Kamek may even come around and give you a brand new character that you play as and unlock, such as Chargin' Chuck or Cheep Cheep. But me? Listen, I don't care. I use the best character in the game, the Snowman. You can use him in the summer, in the desert. It doesn't make sense, but I like it. In terms of character selection and karts, I'm not upset Nintendo removed characters such as Link or the Animal Crossing villagers from Mario Kart 8, because there are so many brand new options. When you look at the character roster, you're not even thinking about those old guys. But I am upset that Miis are not in the game. That's sad. I think they're dying. The kart selection is fine. I'm not gonna say that I like how you can't select each individual aspect of your kart like you could in Mario Kart 8, but I don't mind not being able to do that. It's something that I never cared too much about in Mario Kart 8. The brand new power-ups like the Hammer Bros hammer you can throw makes the racing so chaotic, and overall racing is exactly what you would expect and what it needs to be. As much as I like pointing out flaws so you, the viewer, know what you're getting into, there aren't really any. But the next mode you can play is Knockout Tour, a brand new mode, and let me tell you, this is it. In Knockout Tour, you start with 24 players, and over the course of 6 laps, the 4 players furthest behind get cut off each lap until there's 1 player remaining. It's racing with a purpose. Of course, in Grand Prix, you want to win first every single time, so you ace the cup and get all 3 stars. But in reality, if you don't get first, just try again. And while the same idea can be applied to Knockout Tour, there's a different sense of urgency when you're playing it. Every single move, every single drift, every single item counts, as you cannot be in those bottom 4 or else you lose. This mode has been some of the most fun I've had playing Mario Kart ever, especially when you play online. You can play the CPUs, it's fine, but most of the time, you're gonna come first place. And let me tell you, you think that you're good at the game until you play online. I would hope that you're playing online. It gets kind of boring if you're not. Speaking of online play, it's exactly what you would expect. 24-player chaos is an understatement. You can race, you can knockout tour, you can battle mode, all of which, like Mario Kart 8, have a point system which displays exactly how good you are. Everyone starts at 3,000, and say you win a bunch of races, your score might go up to 4,500, showing people that you are above the 3,000 point benchmark and you are good at the game. Also, before joining an online game, you can race around instead of just sitting in a waiting room doing nothing. That's a nice touch. Time trials are usual time trials with Nintendo employees ready to race you, and most people don't, but some people find this mode boring. And to those people, I would say definitely try out this mode, because there were times when I was racing against ghosts, they would take shortcuts that I didn't even know existed. I'm talking about you, Eric. This Eric Nintendo guy I was racing took a shortcut on Mario Bros. Circuit that I had no idea was there. So you can learn things that way. Otherwise, it's time trials. But we do need to discuss something I'm not happy with, and that is battle mode. Now, in battle mode, there are only two modes: Coin Runners and Balloon Battle. Both of those are from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They are not brand new, and guess what? That Mario Kart 8 Deluxe game had 5 battle modes. And why is that? Why does Mario Kart World only have 2 battle modes? No idea, and I would even argue those 2 battle modes, Balloon Battle and Coin Runners, are not even the best 2 battle modes from Mario Kart 8. I had a much grander time playing Shine Thief and Renegade Roundup. Maybe we can see more in the future as paid DLC, but that shouldn't have to be paid DLC or even in a future free update. But next, the mode that I thought would be kind of boring: free roam. I mean, listen, I have friends, but not too many who are gonna want to jump in a Mario Kart World free roam game every day. But Nintendo announced ahead of the game's release, hey, there's P-switches you can hit that unlock a brand new mission. There's question block panels you can drive over. There's hidden Peach medallions to collect. There's a lot of stuff hidden in a solo Mario Kart World free roam. And to me personally, the P-switches are the only thing keeping this fun. You hit one and unlock a mission, whether it be race through all these hoops in a certain amount of time while dodging obstacles, or collect all these blue coins in a tricky situation. I thought before the game released, a lot of those would be very simple, but I'm happy to report I was pretty stumped on a lot of the missions I did and had to retry them 3, 4, 5 times. Sometimes you have to jump or rail grind at exact moments to avoid obstacles, and there's definitely a lot of skill involved, but I'll leave that for you to discover. As for the question block panels, they're fine. There are 5 per location, and while few are difficult to find, driving over them and unlocking that panel doesn't feel super satisfying, because it wasn't much work to get there. Sometimes you just take one pipe and oh look, there's the question block panel. But at least it's something else to do while you play free roam. As for the Peach medallion collectible coins, I am ashamed to say, out of my 10-15 hours of playing the game, I got 1. I don't think I'm blind, there's just very few of them, and once you find them, they're even harder to get. Sometimes, at least. Aside from that, after you complete all these activities, the only real reason to go back to free roam as a solo player is to practice shortcuts. If you have friends, you can play hide and seek, GeoGuessr, or just cruise around, but I will say that's a lot more fun than how I'm making it sound. My only other big free roam complaint is you cannot play split screen free roam, meaning if me and you are in the same room and we have one Nintendo Switch 2, we cannot do free roam together. You have to have your own Switch 2, and then we can do it. But is Mario Kart World worth the $80 price tag? That seems to be the question everyone wants answered, and I have a pretty complex answer. No, it's not, if you're Nintendo. Here's what I mean. When I say for Nintendo, the Switch 2 costs $450, still cheaper than PlayStation, Xbox, and most people saw the $450 and said, that's kind of more than I wanted to pay, but you know what, I'll pay it, that's kind of fair. It was the Mario Kart price jumping from $60 to $80 that really started everything. That sparked the whole greedy company, drop the prices. And even though that might just be a loud minority, 30, that brought a lot of backlash and a lot of bad news headlines to Nintendo. So was it really worth them making the game $80 instead of something like $70? But for the fans, if you buy this game at launch and you play it for years and years and years, listen, I'm not saying it's worth $80, but in due time, you will wake up and be like, you know what, Mario Kart World was very fun. 80 bucks, I'm glad that I paid it. Now listen, that's not me totally endorsing the price tag, but just some perspective. And while it's kind of early to say, I think this could be the best Mario Kart game of all time. Listen, there's everything right with the game, but it feels like we downgraded. Where are more battle modes? Where's 200cc? Where are the old characters, the Koopalings, the Animal Crossing villagers? This is supposed to be ultimate. I am Swizzle, give Mario Kart World a solid 8.5 out of 10. Maybe they'll be in a future update, but for now, we don't have them. But folks, thank you all for watching. If you want to see a new Switch 2 video, click right here, subscribe to the main channel, and subscribe to my Nintendo podcast channel. I'll see you all soon. Adios.